Some movies are just meant to be over the top, and I don't have a problem with that. Not every movie has to be a realistic kind of movie. There are some movies that you want to just lose yourself in and just go to that world, even though it's not a real world and wouldn't exist like that. Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance, is a movie that tries to be like that. It tries to take on the feel of the comic book and be over the top. It's a very over the top character in a very over the top situation, and it tries to go for it, and I really don't have a problem with that. Does that make it a good movie? No, not really. It makes it have potential, and that was the thing while watching Ghost Rider that struck me the most, is the wasted potential of what could have happened on screen during this movie. Ghost Rider is based on a comic book property of a man who sells his soul to the devil so that his dad can live, and the consequences of that decision is that he is a Ghost Rider. He is alive but not alive. He turns into this flaming motorcycle riding skeleton that goes about his business and tries to do right, even though he's sold to the master of wrong, if you will. That's the plot. And as you can tell, even in the plot, this is crazy. It's ridiculous. It's silly. One of the things I loved about this movie in those moments is that Nicolas Cage just goes all out. He is willing to embrace the craziness, the insanity of this character in a way that I actually found kind of appealing. His performance in this movie I actually kind of enjoyed. And to be honest, there is a lot of this movie that visually, stylistically, is really kind of interesting. I loved the art style and some of the different ways that the pages of the comic book were translated on screen. And also a lot of that had to do with the 3D. I did see it in 3D, and I thought they used the 3D very, very well in the movie Ghost Rider. I've already said way too many good things about this movie because it's not a great movie. The truth of the matter is, even though there are moments that are interesting visually, and Nicolas Cage's performance is kind of funny and over the top, it just is a little drawn out. The plot structure, the basic plot structure, is so simplistic that there's too much space in this movie where things just aren't happening. And so you go from these moments of over-the-top giddiness, art style, wow, that's cool, amazing effect, to minutes upon minutes of unnecessary dialogue and traveling from point A to point B and getting to know characters who we pretty much already know well enough. We don't need to know more about them. They aren't the reason we're watching. So it's a very schizophrenic movie in that way. I should say dual personality movie in that way. And the overall effect is one of off and on boredom that makes it pretty much impossible to recommend the movie Ghost Rider. Not that that's much of a surprise. What is a surprise are the moments that I did enjoy it, and the moments where if you do go see it and see it in 3D, you might actually see something you like.